Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to do a sketch. I already have my drawing and I'm going to be inking it with a fountain pen and an ink brush. And yeah, that's it. No other explanation needed. Let's go. Alright, well this is what we're working with today. I'm going to be using this Tombow brush pen. I really like this thing. It's very good, very good, very recommend. And then this Lamy Safari fountain pen. And what I'm going to do first is take the brush pen and I'm going to do the darkest areas. So my light source is going to be coming from this language that this ancient being is writing with his fingers, which you'll note he has 8 fingers. So anywhere in the direction where this light isn't hitting will have a thicker line. So right here, we'll have a thick line. We'll do a nice tapered to thick line. Okay. Very dark there because it's going even deeper into the shadow realm. So nice and thin up top and then rounds off to. Okay. This edge is away from the light, so we can make that one thick. And then back to lighter because it's going into a more lit area. We can beef these up more. We'll do underneath the thumb right there. This side will be darker, dark to light. And so you can kind of just imagine there's like this radial light coming out of these objects. So you can like kind of point towards this and you'll see this finger is dark underneath, but it'll be nice and thin on the top. So you probably use the fountain pen to do that part. Yeah, light to dark, 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 thick. This side is dark. Okay. Maybe the start of this is dark, but it'll go to thin. The nose. That part is dark. Under the little fingers underneath. Might not make these too thick so you can distinguish how many fingers there are, because that's kind of important to my design of this character. Which these characters are like, if you've seen the movie Prometheus, they're kind of like the engineers, but they're more like, probably more like angels. This area. Okay, bottom. Thin to thick to do those tapered lines. Okay. And yeah, we're getting close to not needing this brush anymore. But I'll go ahead and thicken some more of these areas up. Okay, and then we'll do the rest of these fingers. Okay. underneath the hand can be a little thick. Okay. Alright, this area here. And then we need to do the watcher's lines. So he's got a lot of areas away areas away from the light so we can darken those edges up. Because he's pretty close and in a different direction than the hands. So okay. Okay. And I think the impact of this will be felt more once I get to the fountain pen. You know, and you can do this like as a last step. I just wanted to do this as a first step because why not? Doesn't matter with inking. Doesn't matter with other things, but not inking. Okay, and then some of this will be in shadow, so we'll go ahead and fill that in. Okay, boom. Okay, I think we can move on to the, oh, we'll clear out this area. Okay, and then we'll do like a few of these lines with this brush pen. Ones we want to be thicker than others, but not too big of a deal. Okay. All right. So the idea behind this is that he's an ancient being and he has this ancient language that he's writing with his 8 fingers. He's like a cosmic being, and I don't know if you noticed this, but if you look at his eyes, he's got like 3 pupils. Well, that you can see. There's pupils all around his eyeball, which I thought was a cool touch. Oh, you know what? One more thing. Let's fill in the eyes because it's going to be a large chunk of black. Fill in the eyes of the watcher. Okay. And you know, this isn't a sketchbook. It's not that big of a deal to not be perfect, but we'll just do our best, yeah. Okay, anything else? Oh, we could do the neck vein. And I think that'll be good. Okay. Now we'll do the, you know what, I'll take an eraser and I'm gonna pre-erase some of this stuff just so, because it's kind of dark and thick and I Don't want it to show up that much. You not erase all of it so you can still distinguish what you're drawing, but this way it doesn't show up as much. Still getting used to fountain pens. I don't use them that often, but I see a lot of other people using them and thought I'd give them a try. I had another one that I bought that was kind of cheap and I didn't like it very much, but I got this Lamy Safari fountain pen and it's nice. I think it draws pretty well. So we're getting the ancient language. It's kind of like Braille or Morse code. We're getting that out of the way. And although you can't get like really great tapered lines, you can still flick your wrist a little bit to get like a nice tapered line. I feel like it's a little trickier, and I do feel like these fountain pens kind of skip a little too often for my taste, but you know, I feel like it's not happening as much now that I've gotten used to holding it, because I think you have to, the way this Lamy pen is designed, it's got these two grooves that kind of force you to hold it properly, which is interesting for me because I don't typically hold a pen properly. I kind of write, I'm right-handed, but a lot of people have told me I write like a lefty. So yeah, kind of forces me to hold a pen correctly, and I don't know, it feels good. It probably will cause me to get less fatigue when I'm drawing because my hands do get tired from holding the whatever drawing tool I'm using incorrectly. Let me know if anybody else runs into that. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the way you hold the pen, and it's just, yeah, your arms get tired from holding these tools and pushing down. But yeah, I'm just filling in these little sparks, little magic things that are happening. Drawing in the nails. And then do a little cross hatching. That's the thing about inks is, like, if you make a mistake, be adaptable, be able to change your plans. You know, it might not be exactly what you envisioned in the drawing stage. If you like overshot a line or something like that, just cover it up. Just find clever solutions to the problems that you might have, and usually it turns out good or even better than you thought. But just run with it, because it's gonna be okay. I mean, you can use correction fluid, but I don't do that very often. I usually just cover up my mistakes with making it look like it wasn't a mistake, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is a kind of informal video. I'm not going to do much editing to it. I just wanted to get something out there, draw this page in my sketchbook. That's the second to last page. We're almost done with this one. Yeah, if you're gonna watch one of my sketchbook videos this year, watch this one, the one coming up for this book, because I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I think it's, I mean, not to sound like full of myself or anything like that, but I think it's a really awesome, really some really good ideas and sketches in here, and I think you won't want to miss it. And yeah, I'm excited to share with you how this thing turned out. But yeah, I'm going to try and finish more sketchbooks this year. Kind of just been trying to figure out where I'm going with my art. I'm not entirely sure. I'm kind of uncertain about who, if anybody likes my art, likes my subject matter. It's like I'm confident in my skills as an artist. Like I know I'm competent to make things look realistic and have ideas and stuff like that. But the route that I've been taking is very like off the road, off the guided path, and I've been lately wrestling with, is this the right path to take? I talk about in my other videos that I want to make something original that leaves an impact and that people can remember me by, and my kids can remember me by, and do something new for the world, because I don't feel like there's a lot of good new IPs coming out. So I'd like to be remembered for something that I came up with that was original, as opposed to making something that was very derivative. And yeah, it's kind of very important to me, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, things have been very, very slow lately in the art department. I have not been making a lot of sales. Sold like a couple of prints around Christmas, which I'm grateful for. If you're watching this video and you're one of those people who bought one of my Watcher prints that I did that Making Art Print series for, hey, I really appreciate it. You're awesome. If you want to take a photo and send it to me, I'd love to see how you have it displayed. But yeah, I've just been kind of having a little bit of doubt that this is the right decision to make. It's like all the people who are, to me, making it are doing stuff that is very relatable and unoriginal. Or, if it's art, they're doing like landscapes, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm a little worried. And yeah, I can always change direction, but it'd be nice to be able to make this work. And it's like, what do I do to make this my full-time job? Right now, it doesn't seem very feasible to do that, because I'm not making a lot of money off of my art. It's like, should I start a Kickstarter or something? Because I've got this IP that I've been developing, and I think it would make an interesting graphic novel or something like that. But I'm very cautious about things, and I don't just dive right in. And sometimes that can be to a fault, I think. Like, I haven't shown anything yet, but I had a t-shirt planned, and I was ready to bite the bullet and get the shirt made, and I was just second guessing myself because of the price. It's a lot of money to get shirts printed. But now I'm kind of like, man, you know, I should probably just go for it. But just going for it is difficult for me. Yeah, let me know if you can relate to that. I typically play it pretty cautious, and it could also be because I've got a family and I've got to take that into consideration. But I don't know, I don't know if I gotta change something, change my strategy, change my subject matter, and just go with the flow. And I don't consider it selling out, even though I don't want to feel like I'm selling out, but maybe I need to do that, go for a more publicly requested subject matter. It's like, I think I'm hitting a stride on some ideas, but I don't bounce those ideas off of anybody really, so I'm like, well, maybe I'm just shooting in the dark and I really should do something about it, reach out to somebody, or maybe just get feedback from you guys and gals. What do you think I should do? Keep going with these cosmic beings and story that I haven't even really shared that much about, and you know, that's probably another big problem of mine, is I'm not sharing too much about what I'm making, and I need to change that. Yeah, and I also am like, I'm also thinking, like, should I teach, like, do like a Patreon or something like that? But I'm also thinking, I don't have that many followers, so is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, I guess you have to start somewhere. But yeah, I'm been doing a lot of pondering lately, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Would you be interested in a Patreon or a Kickstarter for a graphic novel about space giants? I'm really interested in, there's the idea of these half angel, half human hybrids that are mentioned in the Bible called the Nephilim. And I think it would be cool if there's like a graphic novel that went into depth about that kind of stuff. But obviously in a fun adventure, sci-fi adventure sense. Been developing that idea for a long time, and I think it's kind of interesting. I think it's interesting, and have some like other spin-offs. Sometimes I feel like inking things doesn't improve the picture, and I'm kind of wondering if that's the case here. Is like, am I making this? Is this better or is this worse? It's definitely got more impact and it's bold, but is it better? Or was it good as just as a drawing? Yeah, pencil drawing. I'm not totally sure. But it doesn't matter. Nothing's Nothing's happening with this. Wonder if an ancient being would have like more than one ear. I've been playing with that idea a lot, as like maxing out like appendages and stuff like that on their bodies. Like, would an ancient space god have more than 5 fingers or toes or what else? Multiple pupils, multiple eyes. Lots of fun things to think about with that. Yeah, the way I approach cross-hatching is I don't typically have them cross over, but sometimes they'll touch. But I like to do some cross-hatching where there's like lines that, well, typically most of my cross-hatching lines are kind of curved, and then I'll build like some areas where it'll like kind of double up. And then in some areas I like to do like these kind of double lines. And for some reason I love the way that these double lines work, and then you can add some lines to them. It's nice for drawing like kind of these rough organic shapes. If you're kind of building wrinkles and stuff like that, it's a nice little veins. It's coming together. And then there'll probably be like a little bit of a shadow under the pectoral muscles. So yeah, what's new with you? This is turning out okay. I'm not that displeased. Sometimes I'll start a drawing, inking a drawing, and then towards the end I'll be like, oh man, I really blew it. Hasn't happened in a while, but it's kind of what you need to get used to, or you need to get through before you get comfortable with inking things, is knowing that you're going to ruin a lot of stuff and you're going to hate it after you ink it. That happens a lot before you get confident. Yeah, this cosmic being has a watcher companion. So watchers are made up of those ethereal enigma tech that I've mentioned in some of my other videos. So it's like the Ets can turn into manifestations of living beings called watchers, who observe the happenings of the cosmic realm, the celestial heavenly realm. Yeah, I think it's a really fun subject. I'm really intrigued by the possibility of an afterlife. I think that's a really interesting subject matter, where people have like near-death experiences and stuff like that. And I think there's life after death, to be honest. And you know what? There's no stakes. There's no problem with saying that. I think I believe, well, I know I believe that that something happens after we die. what that's like, I don't know, but I hope it's a big, awesome adventure, and I hope the thing that I'm working on kind of captures that. Because I think, I like how that hand turned out. Yeah, that's nice. Sometimes it's nice just to be proud of your work and be like, oh yeah, that's good. I like that. I think that's some nice shadows. Good job, Nick. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think there's an afterlife? I think it kind of makes sense. This life, the world is such a mystery. Thing that really intrigued me in the news was the reports of them doing a scan underneath the pyramids, and then finding like these giant pillars underneath those I don't remember, I think it was the Pyramid of Giza, and that's the one that has the megalith stones, the stones that are like impossibly large. That's the crazy thing about the pyramids, is they're like, nobody's for certain nobody's really sure or has too much of a clue of how the Egyptians moved all those stones, or I think it was the Incans. They also had pyramids, and it's like people are totally clueless on how they pulled it off. This is a nice pen. I like the lines that I get from it. Yeah, I'm just really fascinated by that. And there's a lot of architecture that with modern day equipment, we don't entirely know how on earth these civilizations built these megaliths. That's crazy. So I like to think that there's these ancient space giants, or just giants, angels that came down and were giving mankind knowledge, kind of like how Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and then the idea is that the angels came down and gave humans knowledge, and that's how we learned how to do all the things that we do. Sometimes it seems interesting that humans had knowledge of certain things for such a long time. It's like, how's that possible? You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? I mean, it's silly. It could be totally off. And I just think it's a fun thought to entertain. You know what I mean? It'd be really cool if, like, you die and then all of a sudden you get to kick it with some angels, or with God, or some crazy guys. I think that's more interesting than we just die and return to the dirt and that's it. But that's just my opinion, and if you don't believe that, well, I mean, I don't believe all this stuff about space giants and all that, but it's a fun thought to think about. I mean, it could be a possibility. Who knows? But yeah, I think this is turning out pretty cool. Let's maybe kind of build some light around the language he's writing with his hands, so it's a little more obvious that it's glowing in black and white. And this doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be more than perfect. And when I'm doing this, I kind of just hold the pen loose. To get these quick, relaxed strokes that aren't super important to nail perfectly. It was a fun thing to work on. Yeah, let me know what you think about Space Giants. Is that a cool idea for a graphic novel? Some scientist has an out-of-body experience and finds these asteroids that look like human body parts or something like that, but they're huge. I think that'd be pretty cool for a comic. All right, the page is going to move a lot here, so I'm going to push it down a little bit. Oh, there's also, I also find it interesting, there's a book that's not included in most Bibles, but there's some, whoops, missed that. There's some ancient texts it's called the Book of Enoch. And if you're not familiar, Enoch is in the canon Bible, the one that's agreed is God inspired by biblical scholars and the church. And if you're not a part of the Christian or Catholic church, or Catholic is considered Christian, it's fine, but it's still interesting stuff. There's a book of Enoch, and Enoch is this person mentioned in the book of Genesis that says he was taken up by God and he never died. So instead of dying, he just got to go straight to heaven. And that's all there is about Enoch, just about in the canon text. But then there's this book of Enoch that some churches keeping their Bible, and it goes into crazy detail about Enoch's experience in heaven. And he is shown like everything. He's given like all the details. They talk about watchers, which I have in my story. And yeah, it's pretty wild. And you can find it online to read for free. It's pretty darn cool. And that's kind of a little bit of inspiration for the Space Giants story that I'm working on. And I think it's really, if it doesn't matter, you don't really have to like believe it or anything like that. It's just really cool subject matter. That would be, I mean, life is kind of like science fiction, if you know what I mean. So I think it's really cool. I kind of wish that was in the canon part of the Bible, because it's really cool, and I think more people would be interested in reading the Bible if that was included. But it kind of, I think it's also supposed to be like forbidden knowledge or something like that. So maybe not everybody's supposed to know about it. I'm sorry. I don't know. Who knows? I think this turned out pretty cool. I'm kind of glad I took this risk of darkening some of the area with the lines. Kind of wondering if I should like darken it up even more and see how much that. Why not? Let's do it. Go with your gut instinct. Oh no, why did I do that? Oh gosh, I ruined it. Oh, that's fine. Go with the brush pen because it's thicker and messier, and I think this is a cool second to last page. I think this was a good choice. I think the texture is nice. And it feels very cosmic now, radiating light from his ancient language. Very cool. Sometimes I'm like, is anybody even going to watch this video? Is anybody going to listen to me rant? I don't know. I hope so. I've got some subscribers, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you watching. Do some really thick lines. Okay, let's feel like there could be a nicer transition here, so let's kind of gently flick the wrist and get like a little bit more. I think that looks pretty sweet. I think I need to stop before I mess this up. I have this feeling I'm going to mess things up if I don't stop quick. Somebody told me to stop. Oh no. Don't do it. Don't do it. I think we're okay. I lost that fear. I think we got past it. That was a bit hairy. Oh. Missed a spot. I guess just watch as I fill this out. Now I just have the last page to do. Ho-ho. What am I going to do on the last page? I should definitely do something awesome to have this end with a bang. That's cool. I like this page. It's a good page. Had some areas that I felt could use a little more attention to make it a little more dramatic. Like these especially these fingers. Like some of the areas would definitely have more shadow to them because of the light that's emanating from the language that he's writing in. But yeah. These are one of those parts where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have messed with it, but it's okay. Take chances. It's a sketchbook. I don't think you'll make good art you're happy with unless you take some risks. Yeah. I mean, All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop before I get really unhappy. Okay, last goodbye. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.